Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, pimps and sibs, welcome back to the Mac Life, the number one podcast here in the world. We're back for episode 134. Now, if you're new to the channel, we go over absolutely everything to do with growing your brand online, monetizing that brand, Onlyfans marketing for creators, and Onlyfans management. So how to monetize ladies' accounts and make money by managing them. Now, in today's video, we're going to go over the 3 reasons why you probably won't succeed on OnlyFans. And in fact, not probably. These are the 3 reasons. If you don't implement these things, you will not succeed on OnlyFans as a creator or a manager that manages girls' accounts. Now, before we get into that, okay, hit subscribe. No, before we get into that, if you don't know the way in which I do these videos, I do them in podcast style format. So essentially we get some little updates. Me and you get some bonding time together. I go through the updates in life. And then towards the end of the video, we get into the OnlyFans content. So we have quite a few updates to go over today. And the first one, if you've been watching the last couple podcasts, you know I've been a little bit drowsy. I've been on some heavy antibiotics to cure up this staph infection that I got overseas. However, they are not working. It's like it's spreaded all under my arm. Like, look, you can even see, look, it's starting to come up little bits up my neck. And that doesn't look like much, but under my arm is fucked. Under this arm is fucked. So I'm going to have to go back to the doctor tomorrow. 2 days early, I'll have to call her tomorrow and go get it checked out. I think it's going to be like, I think it's a superpower. I think at this point, nothing is curing this foreign disease which I've acquired. So at this point, the only thing left is for me to develop some sort of power. We already know I'm immortal, but we'll figure it out. Okay, as well as that, I'll be doing a reaction video after this on this gentleman here. His wife makes $250K a month on OnlyFans. So there's definitely some serious money to be made, and you'll want to stick around for that video as well. It should be a good video to get some live reactions to. Now, we have quite a lot of little topics to get into. Like there's some pretty major shit here as well. And I want to talk about quadratic growth and organic marketing and the power of it and how you can really make a lot of money if you understand 90% of you give up way too soon. And where the exponential growth in anything comes is towards the latter stages. And I'll explain that mathematically in a second using my own channel and the money that I make now as profit as an example. And as well as that, I think before we get into that topic, I want to start with, I just went on a walk essentially. I haven't been doing any exercise the last couple of days because of this infection. It's been shit. I haven't been able to do anything, but I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go for a walk anyway. I went for this massive walk. I went down to the bay. And I chucked on like a jacket. I went down. I'm down there and I'm looking out at this man on a yacht. And it's a proper nice yacht, like a double-deck story yacht. And he's setting it all up, getting ready to take off. And he's there with a few other people. And he's obviously the owner. He's quite an older gentleman there. And, he's all suited up while on his yacht. And it's a pretty chilly day here. And like this area, if you don't know where I am, it's pretty much all retirees, old rich retirees around here. And next to him in the bay, like a little bit down, was a gentleman fishing with his kid. So he'd taken his little boy out and those guys were fishing. And then there was all people doing things. But I was standing there and I called myself daydreaming. And I was looking at the guy on the yacht and I was like, fuck, I can't afford a yacht yet. Like, I got money, but not yacht money, not proper like this double-decker yacht money, like harboring fees. You need at least a mini crew for that yacht. Then that diminishes your entire net worth unless you've got an excess more. What's the point of having it if you can't afford to even eat on it? So I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, fuck, like I'd give anything for that level of money. Like, what do I have to do? And anyway, whilst people are doing shit on his yacht, I catch him looking out the exact same way as I'm daydreaming, this is how scary it is. I'm like leaning over the rails like this, looking out at him, just daydreaming, looking out over the water. And I look and he's on the side of his yacht, just daydreaming, looking at the guy fishing with his son. And like, obviously I'm not a fucking mind reader, but I'm thinking in his head, he's probably, I'm sitting here thinking, fuck, I would love what he has. I would love that yacht. Like I would love, and this is a weird story, it gets weirder. I would love that yacht. I would love this, right? I'm looking at him. I'm just so focused on him. I'm not looking at anything else. And now I'm drawn in because he's watching the guy on the fishing thing. So I glance over and anyway, I'm looking at him. And I think maybe in his head, he's thinking, fuck, what I would give to just be able to sit there with my son fishing again. You know, he's probably thinking like he was an older gentleman, I would say, like, you know, it's hard when they're a little bit at a distance, but, you know, 70s, 80s. He's sitting there just admiring this father and this kid fishing. And I'm thinking, fuck, like he's thinking, fuck, what I would give to just be young again and just be able to fish with my son. And here he is on a yacht, like a proper big double-decker yacht, while everyone else is like getting shit. Like they're going to head out for the day. It's quite a nice day, like the sun's out. They're going to head out and have a fun day. And he's sitting there, his mind preoccupied, like, fuck, what I would give to just be fishing. And anyway, so after a while of looking, I'm like, fuck, I need to check out, like, what is he focusing on about this family? Am I correct in my thought? And I look over at the dude fishing. But the dude is fishing with his son, but he's kind of staring at me. And I catch him and he looks away and keeps fishing. So I look back at the dude with the yacht. You know, a few seconds later I look and he's looking at me. And then it clicked to me, like, maybe the dude fishing with his son, whilst that's still an enjoyable moment, he was maybe 40, up 50. And he's thinking, like, he could be thinking, fuck, what I would give just to be young again and just to sit there and be ambitious and like, not that that's not young, but just to sit there and be like, what I would give to be in my mid-20s again. Just, you know, the freedom of life to have all these things before. Not that a family isn't great and all this, but before I had the responsibility of a family. And it kind of clicked, like we're in this weird triangle of all wanting what each other's got. And it's like we're all sitting there like wanting what each other's got instead of really enjoying the moment, which is what we have right now. And, you know, the older dude probably was me, sitting there looking out at a dude in a yacht and thinking, fuck, can't wait till I have it. But now that he's got it, is he there celebrating and enjoying the moment? No, he's looking at the dude in the fishing boat thinking, fuck, I wish I could go back to that. And then the dude in the fishing boat, who might be me at 50, I doubt it. You know, I'm not a fucking fisherman. But he's probably thinking like what I would give to be him again. And it's kind of like, when do we stop to really enjoy the moment? And I know I'm a big believer of stoicism and putting in the work and that. But Epicureanism is about living in the moment and enjoying. And I think like if you can have a stoic approach to building more, I'm just spitting everywhere, building more and becoming more, but taking time to be a little bit more Epicurean and saying, I'm just going to actually really enjoy this moment, because that's what it is. And Alex Hormozi explained this, you know, very, very cool. It's like him when he was 20, all he wanted was to become a millionaire. And then when he became a millionaire, all he wanted was to be 20 again. And so he thinks like, imagine his 86-year-old self, what he would give up just to be able to be his age right now. And you think about that, like if my 86-year-old self, if I was my 86-year-old self sitting there, decrepit, old, you know, poorer skin, I'm obviously not the sex icon that I am now, all these things, and you would give all of that material wealth to come back to where you are now. It's like, why am I not so obsessed with acquiring material wealth? I understand the importance, but why aren't I just enjoying the process? Because this is a bit like getting to sit here, enjoy filming, putting out content each day, really brings it back down to gratitude. And for me today, it was just a weird connection to be able to sit there and be like, we just had this weird like triangle of energy connecting us, like just three dudes. And it's just like, I want that. He wants that. He wants this. And it's just like, when are you going to enjoy the moment? So I thought that was a cool story to share. It had some relevance to it. What's this one? I also want to give a little update for some people in the Hive have been asking certain questions, and I thought what I'll do is give you like a little update for people here on YouTube. You should be inside the Hive Mind. There's no reason that you shouldn't be inside the Hive Mind. Onlyfans, Growth Masterclass, e-commerce. It's our private community, 500 plus members. We got fucking creators, managers. We got everything. You should already be in there. But I want to give you an update from some questions inside the Hive. And I'll probably just do one occasionally. You know, I want to keep the Hive stuff as it is. But I'll give some advice to YouTubers. And one dude today was saying like, about TikTok, like, oh, I've put up 2 videos already for my girl. How many views should I have? It's already been 2 hours. And it's like, bro, you are over-analyzing this shit to the absolute T. Most TikTok growth doesn't take off till 24 hours, 48 hours. Like the video I've got that's got plus 1 million views, you know, it took 24 hours before it had a big boom, and then it boomed and boomed, and then weeks later it had a reboom and got an extra 200,000. But I think the most important thing for TikTok is the country you post in. Each country will have different things. I found what was working back here for growth didn't work in places like Vietnam. Here, I post the business stuff. I'm a little bit raunchy with it. And people are all over these posts. Oh, you're a dickhead. You're this, you're that. Fuck, you're inspirational. Whatever they want to go with. It gets a lot of virality. I post that stuff overseas. It gets like 6 views. But I post a video of me eating a bread roll with my hair fucking everywhere. And it gets 1 million views. It just depends on the country you're in. And so if you're in the US or you're in, Canada, wherever you are, scroll through the feed of the sort of content that's viral in your niche. Look at it and then be like, okay, what are they doing? Are they using the glitch caption when they post? Look at what sort of words they're using when they post. Are they asking a question? What are they doing? How long are their videos for? Do they have music in it? These are very easy things to identify, and you don't need a massive data pool, okay? You can grab 9 or 10 posts and you can get a pretty good data pool just from that quick scroll through of people in your industry. Look at what they're doing and just replicate and emulate that. So there's some TikTok advice from the Hive. You should already be in the Hive. That being said, besides like clearing up all this fucking rash I'm trying to get moving, trying to get healthy again, my diet is the healthiest it's ever been. I've cut out pretty much 98% of sugar from my diet to just not really any sugar. Like I get a little bit of sugar. I have 1 square of dark chocolate each day. It's healthy for the brain. I have maybe a handful of either blueberries or blackberries. And the only other sugar that I get is in the little bit of milk in my morning coffee and the little bit of sugar inside of a protein shake. And people say, yeah, but you can get, this and that, and you could make it more. It's not worth it. And people say to me, yeah, but you should just have black coffee. The benefits of black coffee instead of adding milk is so much. Motherfucker, black coffee tastes like shit. Unless it's full of sugar. It tastes like shit. And so I'm already eating 98% healthy. Why am I going to change out for that extra 2%? It's not worth it. Not a fucking android yet. Okay? So I feel like my diet at the moment's the healthiest it's ever been though. Make sure you get sunlight. Make sure you get a lot of water. All the basic shit. And walking, like not even walking, but exercising. Because of this thing, I haven't been able to lift weights because it's just going to chafe. It's just going to rub. Haven't obviously been able to do MMA or anything like that, obviously. But I've just been doing no exercise. And it's like, I was thinking in my head, I don't want to just go walking. I hate doing just running. I hate all that sort of shit. But then today it was day 3 of not really exercising at all other than doing a few sit-ups and trying to squeeze out sit-ups. And I was like, you need to fucking get out there and fucking walk at least. So I went for that big walk. That's when I walked down to the bay. And then I was like, I already feel 100x on how I felt the other days. And it's really the basics of life that will bring the most vitality, which is good amount of sunlight, get a lot of sun, get a lot of water into the body, meditation for the mind. And movement, whatever movement you want to do, whether it's fucking table tennis for an hour, whether it's gymnastics. Sure, if you want to build up muscle and do certain things, you can hit the gym, but vitality of life comes from movement. What's the difference between a live person and a dead person? Dead person don't move at all. Alive people move. They move a lot more than dead people. So, now let's get into the main juice point I want to get into before the 3 things in OnlyFans. You should have already hit subscribe by now as well. I want to get into the main juice one, but I have one last quick one, which is that if you've seen recently as well, Andrew Tate getting banned on Instagram, on Facebook, you'll notice I hate the term red pill community. These dudes a lot of them are so cringy, and the way they talk about women, the way they talk about certain things, that it comes from insecurity. I'm a person who likes psychology. I believe in, obviously, being a man. I believe being a man is a powerful thing, and it's an exceptional thing to be a man, and you should definitely carry manly characteristics. But a lot of these dudes, they don't have a deep understanding of psychology, and a lot of the shit they say just stems from some deep insecurities. People don't want to have internal reflection, look at themselves. So I don't really like that community. But that being said, the world at the moment is very dangerous. Look at all these communities on every social platform. They're getting banned. They're getting silenced. They're getting shadow banned. They're getting views capped. The agenda is being set. If you don't understand the way in the world which it's going at the moment, we're trying to weaken men. And that is very, very true. We are trying to make men little soy boys, little latte boys. I love a good latte, but we're trying to make men little soy latte boys. And we're trying to silence anyone who speaks out about that. And that's becoming more and more evident. And so, I'm glad I'm seeing a lot of comments, a lot of things of people starting to resist. But that being said as well, a lot of people that's sitting there are commenting, oh, yeah, fuck this, fuck the system. They're still weak dudes. They're not doing anything. They're not working out. They're not putting in effort. They're not taking risk. They're not helping their family. They're not bettering themselves. They're not reading. They're not donating. It's like, I don't know. I think the whole world is very weird. We're in a very weird stage of the world at the moment. But I also feel we're in a golden age for opportunity because they're making all these men very, very weak. We're going to have a fucking snap soon. There's going to be a trigger point. I think we're honestly on the verge, like not on the verge, maybe in the coming 10 years. We're just starting to realize now, but we're on the verge of having a snap where there's going to emerge some very, very powerful men and some very key changes in the way life is structured. So that's my observations from what I've seen at the moment with the media. Because once you suppress something enough, okay, anything that's strong enough will always expand and overcome it. Once you bottle down and you build, you're essentially, it's like a hydraulic press. You're crushing it to the point where there's enough pressure. It's like a grenade under a hydraulic press. And you like at the start, it's all right, and then it only takes that certain amount once it fucking hits that pressure point. So that's what I've noticed. Fuck, I nearly just choked to death on my own spit. Now, let's get into the main thing that I want to talk about before the OnlyFans stuff is quadratic growth. And people don't understand how you need to put in a lot of work initially and you really don't see exponential growth until the later stages. And this is hashed again and again and again, but I'm at what I call the end of the beginning. And, I've had a lot of success in business, but I always tell people, this is the beginning. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. I'm not saying that anymore because I don't feel this is the beginning anymore. This is the end of the beginning. For me, I can feel this change in my lifestyle now where this is the end of the beginning before it moves into the big, big stages. And I can tell by the rate of growth across all of my businesses, across everything, especially YouTube. Like, people will look at my channel and think it's very small and they don't understand how much my channels actually generate in profit for me each month. But that being said, it's now compounding to a level where it's insane. It's going to be absolutely insane. And I want to give this in terms of subscribers to begin with. So when I started tracking my subscribers more than just posting, I was getting around 30 a month, which is around like one person a day subscribing. And then I checked again at about 60. I remember thinking, oh, wow, it's doubled. I'm getting about 2 a day now. So 2 new people a day are actually subscribing. I was thinking, wow, that's double growth. And then I checked it again and it was maybe 100. And I was like, wow, like I'm getting 100. That's more than I'm thinking in my head, that's more than 3 people a day. That's more than 3 people a day. Double checking my math. Joining up, subscribing to my shit. Wow, it's moving. And when you look at the big picture though, I'm getting 100 subs in a month. And it's it took a while to build to that. And it's only 100 subscribers because we get carried away with the vanity metrics. We see people with millions of views. And then when I checked it again, it was maybe, 170 when I really, not when I checked it, but when I noticed in my head that I'd seen some sort of growth. Because you see it go to 1.8 or 1.9, you're like, oh, it's not really anything. But I noticed it had changed a bit about 170. And then at about 200, I was like, fuck, 200 subs a month, okay. And then 250, 300, 320, 380. And it may not sound like much where it's at now, but when I checked today, okay, we're at 436 subscribers a month. And they may not sound like anything at all. That still may seem like a very minimal channel. But I know the amount of profit just this channel alone makes. And I have multiple YouTube channels. And you may think, oh, that's, from 200 to 2x, it's whatever. But if you really break it down, let's look at how long have I been pumping this. Let's go back to the first podcast. And I checked today and I actually re-watched my first podcast. And it's funny to see how much more my skill level has adapted. My camera skill level, the ability to talk more concisely, the ability to structure out certain points, the quality of the audio, the understanding that I need to actually not chop off my head in it. This was me in the first video talking to everyone. And so it's like, I look at it and I thought to myself, oh, that's some good growth. But when I really thought about it, it's moving exponentially. It's going up, and it's only been 9 months for this. And I'm just giving YouTube as an example instead of all of these businesses. That's a 14x from 30. When I checked it, it was doing 30, and that's when I started doing the podcast. I'd switched from, the e-commerce videos that I had up to pushing out a potty a day. And I went from around gaining 30 subscribers a month to now, only 9 months later. I don't even think it's 9 months. It was November 20 something. Was today the 21st? It might actually be exactly 9 months today, which is a weird. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It's 9 months today, so it's not even a year. But now I'm gaining 436 subscribers a month, which is a 14x. 14x. That may not seem like much. But even if it didn't continue to be quadratic in nature, it's building compoundingly. A 14x another 9 months from now, so not even a year, which means the business has only been operating a year and a half, okay, as a podcast, means that I would be gaining 5,880 a month. So think about that. That as a year, that's 6, 12, 72. It's around 72,000 subs I would be at over the space of a year. But remember, it's going to be way more quadratic. And so I look at it and it's like, okay, I've only got 4 now. But if I really look at the rate of growth, you don't understand that in 9 months from now, boom, it could be at 78,000 members. But the first 9 months, we went from nothing, 30. We went from gaining 30 a month to only 400 a month. There was only that jump. But you don't understand. It's a 14x. Because it only really makes sense towards the end. Because the next 14x, which I believe it will be even bigger, puts us to 78,000 subs or 5,880. And so much more of the sauce is made here. And I'm really trying to drill this point. I told you it's going to be a long point because it's very important you understand this. But then, this is what I call the end of the beginning. We're moving it from the end of the beginning stage across all my businesses into this. And then from there, it's going to be exponential again and exponential again and exponential again. And I honestly, deep down believe this channel will hit 1 million subs. And it's not unrealistic for me to say that because my time horizon is far more extensive than anyone else. And what do I mean by that? I'm willing to put out a video, 2, 3, sometimes 4 videos a day on YouTube for the next 10 years. And a lot of people say that, I'm willing to work hard for the next 10 years. And I look, your businesses change every 2 weeks. Your businesses, you work really hard and you do put in the effort, and that business lasts a month, 2 months, and then you chop and change again. You have 6 new businesses a year. And if you think like, oh yeah, but 6 businesses isn't even that much. I've seen some of you honestly push out 15, 20 new business ideas a year. How are you meant to grow when you look like I put in 9 months of YouTube to only get to that level, but the major growth comes in the following 9 months. And a lot of people look where I am now and they're like, oh wow, we've already got nearly 5K. But it's like, that was the beginning. And that was putting in work for 9 months. And so what I'm trying to drill into you right now, I know this just sounds repetitive again and again and again, but the success and especially profit in business comes when you do something for a longer period of time and you just chip away at it. Persistence. It really does come from persistence. And I wouldn't be telling you this if I didn't want to see you succeed. And so it doesn't matter if you're going to be in the OnlyFans industry, this is very, very, very important. A lot of these dudes say, oh, well, I've been doing OnlyFans for a month and some of these other guys are making this much, but I've only made da-da-da-da-da. It's like, okay, do all your girls have YouTube channels? Have they been at it a year? Maybe how much more growth do you think if you'd given it a year instead of chopping and changing? And the reason that I'm trying to hammer this into you is you're quitting too fucking early to see any sort of next level result, and then you're comparing with the people that do put in the effort. Have you ran a year's worth of TikTok ads? Do you know, if this has happened here on YouTube, if you were to test different TikTok ads for a year, How much better and how much more growth do you think you would have at running TikTok ads? People say, well, yeah, your ads just always seem to work though, and mine don't. And I say, how many ads have you run? This is legitimate. This is people I've spoke with. How many ads did you test? 2? You fucking bell. 2. You tested two ads. 2 campaigns. How many ad sets? Oh, 1 in each. How many creatives? Oh, 1 in each. You've tested 2 ads and you think, oh my God, because I pumped $150 on each, I should be successful. Are you fucking insane? Do you know how many ads I've ran? How many failed for me to finally get a winning ad? How ridiculously long I stuck at ads to finally get a winning ad. But here's the difference. Once I finally did have a winning ad, it was magnitudinal with the success that it brought. Once I figured out DM ads on Instagram and how simple they actually needed to be and what text they needed to have and the way in which you needed to address your audience at the start of the ad creative and the way in which you could get around ad guidelines by using emojis instead of words and the way in which you could set up filtering automations so that when they message through, they had that little drop-down list that selects certain options and then that would keyhole them into certain responses that were more likely to convert. There are a lot of things, okay? But the problem is, you all try an ad again, quit, and then say, the whole industry doesn't work. I'm going to go try crypto. I'm going to go try ATM machines because they're trending. No. You're not working. It doesn't matter what's trending. It doesn't matter if it's the Golden Goose Factory. You're not putting in the work. It's that simple. So it's really about compounding growth. And you wait and see another 9 months from now how far my YouTube channel's grown. And then, you know, I said this at the... there's like the whole squad gone by. Oh, some kid just tripped over. That's brutal. Oh, he's busted a knee. He's a man down. He's a man down. Should I flip it and give his a look? We got a whole squad down. Oh, he's not happy. Oh no, that's not. Is that a kid? Or is that the dad? Oh, that's a chubby kid. That was like the Stranger Things clan, but just all boys. Anyway, that being said, you know, I think give it a year from now and look at how far in advance my YouTube channel's gotten. It's got from nothing to 5K. Which some people would look at as nothing in growth for the year's worth of effort that I put in. Well, it's only really 9 months, but just wait and see. Wait and see. I know how much profit these motherfuckers bring, and I think all of you should have YouTube. The reason why all the big content creators are on YouTube is, you know, and not content creators, all the big business people are on YouTube is because fame is the easiest way to make money. It brings exponential growth. It's a constant lead gen machine where I don't have to pay for ads anymore. If I want to acquire, you know, a new business relationship, a new partner, I can put out a video on YouTube. Someone knows someone who watches my video and it's expanding in nature. And then it gets to the point where, you know, I could put out a YouTube video on any business idea I want tomorrow, anything, and I could probably get, you know, if it's some high ticket fucking $10,000, $20,000 thing, some business idea, I could get at least 3 people message me. And if I put out the videos for a week, I might get 3 sales. I could make 60K. And it's like, well, why are you? Because I'm focused on a certain thing, providing value. But it's like, imagine if Elon Musk was to have any business idea. It could be the worst business idea. But he could make so much money from it. Because he's built that audience. YouTube's the best way to do that. Get on YouTube. Now, that being said, let's get into the OnlyFans stuff. As I said, there are 3 reasons that you will not succeed on OnlyFans as both a creator and a manager. There are 3 main reasons. Number 1 is pricing. I break this down in every single video. If you charge $20 per piece of content and I charge $100, sure, it may be a little harder for me to convert the sales, but you have to produce 5 times as many results to make as much money as me. Okay? That's not in any way some bullshit wish-washy thing. Legitimately, if you make $20 a sale and I make $100 a sale, you have to make 5 times as many sales to replicate my one. And yes, my sale is going to be a little bit harder to convert, but in the long run, it works out way better to charge a premium. And I've explained this from the value ladder standpoint many, many times. Okay, I break this down in the Hive massively, and it's usually a mental blockade that we put on ourselves. The more you price, okay, and the more you charge, the easier your business will become. All you have to do is be able to find a way to equate value to the price point. You don't have a pricing problem, you have a value problem. If you say no one's paying $100 for my content, you're not creating enough value. You're not nurturing the relationship enough. You're not building them up to a high enough climax, which are the certain points of connection in OnlyFans. You don't have a pricing problem, You have a value problem. Now, the next thing is, our next thing that's holding you back, our next main problem is these barriers, these blockades, okay? These greenhouse roof ceilings that you put on expansion. Let me tell you the main ones that OnlyFans creators have. Oh, I don't want my parents to find out. I don't want my friends to find out. I don't want to get an accountant because I don't want them to know. I don't want OnlyFans showing up on my bank statement. You might as well not be in this industry. If you've already put all these blockades on yourself, you've put a cap on how much money you can make. And you may disagree, but you're wrong right now. And it's simply because of the fact that if I said to you right now, I had the means to advertise you for free to every single person in the world, for free, you wouldn't say yes because you didn't want your parents find out, you didn't want your friends find out, whatever it is, you've already set up these mental blockades. You've already set caps. And with those caps that you've set compared to someone who doesn't, you're going to put caps on your income level as well within the industry. So you'd be better off spending your time focusing on something where you have full, clear conscience, whether it's e-commerce, whether it's a fucking lawn mowing business, whatever it is. There's no point participating in a business if you're not 100% comfortable in going all out. Now, the third, and this is the main one that everyone lacks in succeeding in the OnlyFans industry, is community. And I know this sounds like a plug for the hive mind, but what is the easiest way to overcome anything? If you don't have a community to reach out to, imagine if you lived on your own, isolated in the woods, and a snake bit you, and you didn't have a doctor that you could ask for an antibiotic, okay, or an anti-venom. It's going to be very hard to live. If you had to hunt all your own food each day and you didn't have a store that you could go to, you know, if the world didn't have roads and cars and you had to walk every single place you wanted to go, how much would that slow down your progress of accelerated growth? This is why communities exist, because we provide a place of accelerated, substantial growth. This is why we're not out here fighting bears with sticks. You're approaching your business like fighting a bear with a stick. You have no one that you can call on that's in the same industry because of some weird egotistical thing where you want to outshine people or you don't want people knowing your secrets, okay, which is stupid. You already make basically no money and you don't want people knowing your secrets. It's insane. You cannot succeed. Well, you can, but you cannot succeed as fast without a community, okay? You need a community of people doing the same thing. You know, someone to warn you, hey, there's a new OnlyFans update coming out on this day that's going to prohibit this. Maybe we should start working on this. Oh, thank you, bro. Hey, I'm actually crushing it using YouTube at the moment. What are you doing? Oh, I'm doing TikTok. Really? I couldn't get TikTok to work. Oh, well, it started working for me when I changed my ad sets to this. Oh, great. Maybe I could show you YouTube and you could show me TikTok. This is the power of a community. And with that being said, to finish off the video, this is the world's best plug. That's why I've created the Hive Mind. It's not only all the OnlyFans and Ecom, YouTube, Instagram training in one place, but we have a community of 500 plus people now doing 6 and 7 figures with OnlyFans that you can just start chatting with right away. Links in the description. Make sure you hit subscribe. I'll try and make it to tomorrow's video if this infection doesn't take over my face and turn me into some mutant. And I'll see you all for tomorrow's video. Bucka.